The hydrosphere.
The hydrosphere. It is made up of all the water in the oceans, seas, rivers, lakes, polar ice caps, and glaciers, as well as groundwater and the water vapor in the atmosphere. Water can be in three forms. It can be solid, liquid, or gas. Water as a resource. There are two types of water, salt water and fresh water. Salt water, which is 97.21%, is found in the oceans and seas, and fresh water is only 2.79%. In the fresh water, there are three types: subterranean water, which is 29.6%, lakes and rivers, which is 0.4%, and icebergs and glaciers, which is 70%. Drinking water has become a scarce resource, and its unequal distribution causes conflict and inequality. In some parts of the world, there is not enough, but our need for water grows every year. That is why we must use water carefully, and the most important, not waste it. What is the water cycle? Almost all fresh water exists as ice in glaciers and at the poles. It is also found beneath the Earth's surface. We get most of our drinking water from rivers and lakes, which make up only 0.4% of the fresh water on the planet. In nature, water goes from solid to liquid to gas. And as you know, back again. This is called the water cycle. The water cycle. The water cycle. Wind. The wind moves the clouds. Precipitation. Some of the water falls to the earth in the form of snow, rain, or hail. Condensation is when water vapor cools and condenses, forming clouds. Evaporation of rivers and lakes. It is when water from rivers and lakes evaporates into the atmosphere. Evaporation from plants and the ground. It is when water in plants and the ground evaporates into the atmosphere. Evaporation of seawater. It is when heat causes the water in the sea to evaporate. Water. Surface water is excess water from rain and other sources flows along rivers. And infiltration is when some of the water is absorbed into the ground. Water in the ocean. Oceans and seas cover 71% of the Earth's surface. Most of the water on the planet, which is 97.21%, is salt water. Rivers and rain carry rocks and minerals. To oceans and seas. This makes them saline, or in other words, salty. But remember, not all of them have the same salinity. Water in movement. Seawater is constantly moving because of the movement of currents, tides, and waves. This movement erodes and shapes coastlines. Ocean currents are like big rivers moving within the oceans. The water in these currents does not mix with the rest of the sea. That is because it has different temperature or salinity. Currents can be warm or cold. Tides are the rising and falling of sea levels. When the sea level rises, it is high tide. And when the sea level is low, it is low tide.
Rivers and lakes.
River is a moving stream of water. The flow of a river is the amount of water it carries. The water in rivers comes from rain, springs, and melted snow. A river's flow can change. That is called a flow regime. Lakes are permanent bodies of water. The water in lakes comes from rain, rivers, or groundwater. Groundwater is water that collects or flows under the Earth's surface. When it rains, some of the water penetrates the ground and collects in aquifers. Underground aquifers are an important source of fresh water, but are vulnerable to pollution and overuse.
Icebergs and glaciers.
Most of the fresh water on Earth is frozen solid. The Hydrosphere includes all ice in the world. Most of it is in the polar ice caps. The rest is in glaciers on
Water in the atmosphere.
Our atmosphere contains water in the form of water vapor. Most water vapor is found in the lower part of the atmosphere, that is called the troposphere. In Europe, rivers are shorter and slower because of relief and climate. The Volga is the longest river. The Danube and the Rhine are the rivers in Europe with the highest flows. Asia, the Siberian rivers such as the Obi flow into the Arctic Ocean. They are long and frozen in winter. The Ganges and the Euphrates flow into the Indian Ocean. They are short and irregular. The Caspian Sea is actually the world's largest lake, and Lake Baikal is the deepest on Earth. Australia. In Australia or Oceania, the Murray River is the main river lake, which is salty, is an important lake. Africa. Africa is the world's longest river. The Nile, which flows into the Mediterranean Sea. The Congo, Niger, flows into the Atlantic Ocean. Americas. The river with the highest flow in the world. Amazon is located in the Americas. Rivers that flow into the Pacific Ocean, such as Colorado River, are shorter and slower. Antarctica, with a surface area of 1,467,700 kilometers square, surrounds the South Pole. Its average elevation is 2,300 meters and contains 90% of the world's fresh water. A thick layer of ice covers more than 95 of its territory.
Europe's rivers. Arctic rivers such as the Northern Divina and the Petchora are frozen for much of the year. Atlantic rivers like the Rhine, Loire, Vistula and the Tahoe have an irregular flow due to the rainy Atlantic climate. Mediterranean rivers like the Ebro, Tiber and Po rivers tend to have irregular flow due to the seasonal nature of the Mediterranean climate. Black Sea rivers like the Danube, the Dnieper and the Don are characterized by their great length, and Caspian Sea rivers like the Ural and the Volga are long and have high flow. Iberian Peninsula rivers. We divide the rivers in Spain into three groups. The rivers of the Cantabrian Watersea, such as Nervión, Nalón, Navia and Bidasoa, are short and have strong currents because the mountains they originate in are close to the Bay of Biscay. The floors are high due to the abundant rainfall. The rivers on the Atlantic Watersea, such as the Miño, Duero, Tajo, Guadiana and Guadalquivir, are long because they begin far from the Atlantic Ocean and are joined by many tributaries along their course. They usually have high flows. Two examples are the Duero and Tajo rivers. Except for Mediterranean Watersea rivers such as Llobregat, Ebro, Júcar and Segura are short with low and irregular flows. Sometimes in summer they are completely dry, when there is torrential rain in spring and autumn. The volume increases and sometimes the river flows. The rivers that are completely dry in summer are called ramblas.